Hi there, this is Java Jim with First Line Equipment, and we have the Eureka Mignon Specialita Espresso Coffee Grinder. And why do I call it Espresso Coffee Grinder? Because it's normally for espresso. Some resellers out there will say it's good for regular coffee. I just want to make you aware, I've spoken to several manufacturers for coffee grinders, and always keep this in mind. Coffee grinders that are primarily made for espresso do good or okay for regular coffee. Grinders that are made primarily for regular coffee are okay for espresso and sometimes not okay. And that's why espresso grinders are typically much more expensive, because they have to grind finer, and that's their main purpose. Here we have in front of us is a Specialita, and as you can see, I was reading the manual. So make sure you review the manual before using. And the most important thing is on this particular grinder, as well as all other espresso grinders, is you change the settings while it's running. Okay, so I'll turn it on and we'll hit the button there and change the settings while it's running. Okay, with beans or without. Now, when you hear that sound, that is where the burrs are touching. That is considered your 0 point, not the zero necessarily on the dial, because it not always lines up with the European manufacturers who make espresso grinders. And the thought process is 0 should be the 0 point. It is not. Okay, so it's rare that it will be the 0 point. Now, on the Perfecto, on the Specialita, you may get a grinder that the display is not fully functional. What I mean by that is it's not showing. Not that it doesn't function here, because that's a different issue and we haven't seen that yet. But you may see buttons missing, the number missing. I've seen this in two scenarios. One, there's not enough electric. We had a customer here in Jersey. We tested the grinder. He went home. Display didn't work. And the reason is because he was running it through an extension cord and he only had about 100 volts. The grinder needs minimum of 110. Okay, so the display, if it goes black, check the voltage in your outlet. The second reason, and that's what inspired this video, is if the grinder is shipped and it has been cold outside, let the display warm up, okay? You may see a button or two missing. This grinder is actually returned. My tech turned it on and 2 buttons were missing. And basically we needed to allow it to warm up and then the displays work. And if it doesn't, just hit the buttons, get stuff flowing in there, turn it on, turn it off, and it should work. If it doesn't, either a connection got loose in shipping, and where it doesn't function at all, or there's an issue with the display. But we have yet to change any of these displays. That's how good this grinder has been. Now, a couple things in the manual here. If you want to get into the mode where it shows you how many grind sessions there were, single and double, or if you want to change the contrast. And for those who have this grinder at home, I want you to check because you're going to see that the contrast, I can't tell the difference unless I'm blind. I've had 2 persons here at First Line to tell me they see a difference in the contrast. I don't see it. I took photographs of it. I see very little, but there's really not a lot of contrast. So I'm not sure if that's something that they skip, but I really don't see it. So you want to turn the grinder off. You want to hold the grind button down here. That's where your portafilter hits. And I do have the fork off. There's usually a fork here that's adjustable. I took it off just for ease of display. You're going to hold that in, that button, turn it on. In about 5 seconds, you'll see the display come up and you'll see 0, 0, okay? And you see the single button, see it says 02? That's how many times the single cup dose was used. If I go over to the double, hit that button, 0, 0, okay, 0, 0, and 43. And just prior to this video testing, I was at 42, so I tested with once. Now, if you want to change the contrast, you're going to hit the plus or minus button. Okay, so now you can go up to 7. Okay, and it was at 6. So you would think, okay, going to 1, okay, which would be the contrast. Now you press this button here to get out, and you're back to the menu here for dosing and grinding. So let's go back, turn this off on the side button here, turn it back on, wait the 5 seconds. We have the single. Yeah, just hit this button here, and we're at 0 where we left it. And now we put it at 7. Okay, hit the button here, and the contrast stood the same for me. And in the video, you're probably going to see that the contrast is the same here. If you have this grinder, the Perfecto or the Specialita, do this and comment down below because I would be interested. Once again, this is Java Jim with First Line Equipment, and we have the Eureka Mignon Specialita Espresso Coffee Grinder. Hopefully this video was helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, you can ask down below, or more importantly, visit our website, and we have a Q&A there as well, question and answer, that we try to answer questions as quickly as possible. And most importantly, not only just subscribe to our social media channels, but share the information. Be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Have a great day. And as I say, coffee first, everything else second. Take care.